Hi students, welcome to class 10th, second video based on life process. So let us start discussion about what is nutrition. The mode of intake of food by various organisms is called as nutrition. There are mainly two types of nutrition. One is called autotrophic nutrition, the other is heterotrophic type of nutrition. So let us discuss first autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition is type of nutrition where the organisms prepare their food by self, that is by the process called photosynthesis. So we can say the source of carbon and energy is from photosynthesis. Here all the plants are included under autotrophic nutrition. So the reaction here is carbon dioxide, water. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, there is synthesis of carbohydrates with the release of oxygen and water. So 6 molecules of carbon dioxide with 12 molecules of water. In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, there is synthesis of glucose with 6 oxygen molecules and 6 water molecules released. This process is very important. The reaction is very important for the exam point of view. So after preparing the glucose, the plants utilize and the extra glucose or carbohydrate is converted into a reserve food material called starch. So starch is a reserve food material in the plants. Likewise, even in the animals there is a reserve food material, it's called glycogen. Then the process of photosynthesis. There are mainly 3 steps of photosynthesis. One is absorption of light energy, that is by the chlorophyll molecule which is present in the chloroplast. So this light energy is converted into chemical energy, and slowly there will be splitting of water molecules into oxygen and hydrogen. Then final step is reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. So first is sunlight is absorbed by the leaf, that is from the chlorophyll, that is through the chlorophyll, and later on the light energy is converted to chemical energy, water molecules split, and the carbon dioxide is reduced to carbohydrates. You can see here carbon dioxide reduced, then light energy that's converted to chemical energy, water molecule split it. So this is how the autotrophic nutrition takes place. When you observe the cross section of the leaf, you can see here upper epidermis, lower epidermis, and then you can see upper epidermis is having a layer called cuticle, waxy cuticle, and then there are photosynthetic units called chloroplast present here, where you can see air spaces, and lower epidermis consists of specialized cells. These are called as guard cells, and this is the opening of the leaf, which we call it as stomata. So how plants obtain carbon dioxide? Through stomata. What are these stomata? They are the tiny pores present in the leaves. And this stomata, when you observe the structure, you can see like this. It consists of 2 bean-shaped cells, which we call them as guard cells, and there is a stomatal pore and chloroplast. This stomata opens and close. They open when the water flows inside and the cell become swollen. They close when the water flows outside the guard cell and they become flaccid. So now we come to how plants absorb water. The water is absorbed by the roots that is present in the soil. And even with the water, you can see nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium is also absorbed. The nitrogen is used in the synthesis of proteins and other compounds. It's absorbed as nitrates and nitrites, which are present in the soil. Sometimes they're also absorbed as organic compound, that's by bacteria. We know that there are soil bacteria which are called rhizobium, which you have studied in your lower classes. This rhizobium fixes atmospheric nitrogen. That's all about autotrophic nutrition. So now we come to the second type, heterotrophic nutrition. So here we classify this heterotrophic nutrition into two types. So these are those type of organisms which cannot prepare their food and they depend upon other organisms for their source of nutrition. So let us take the first one. We call it as saprophytic nutrition. So the organisms break down the food outside the body or inside the body. Example, fungi, bread mold, yeast, mushroom. These are actually organisms which are depend upon dead organic matter. And another type we have parasitic type of nutrition. The organisms derive nutrition from the plants or animals without killing them. Example, cuscuta, that is amarbel plant, ticks, lice, leech and tapeworm. And there are two types, saprophytic, parasitic. Another one type where you can see holozoid type of nutrition is found in higher organisms. So these organisms obtain nutrition by a special digestive system. When you take single cell organisms like amoeba, there is food vacuole formed, and that is formed by the pseudopodia, and it is digested and absorbed. Like paramecium, also unicellular organism, you can find a specific spot of food vacuole formed by beating of cilia. So these are two single-celled organisms. When you come to multicellular organisms, there is a definite system which we call it as digestive system. So nutrition in human beings. So you can find the digestive system of man. So first part is mouth. In the mouth there is teeth which helps in crushing the food, and the mouth also contains salivary glands which secrete saliva. The saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase which helps in digestion of starch into simple sugars. This is about the mouth. And coming to the next part, the food which is eaten from the mouth moves to the food pipe called esophagus. The esophagus is also called food pipe. This do not contain any enzymes, and this contains a type of muscular movement which is called peristaltic movement. Through this movement, the food from the mouth reaches to all other parts of the alimentary canal. So here the alimentary canal is very long, which starts from the mouth and ends with the anus. Next part is stomach. The stomach contains gastric glands. It produces gastric juice. This gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid, enzyme called pepsin, and mucus. Hydrochloric acid is very concentrated. So because of that, the stomach is acidic in nature. And by this HCl, the pepsin is activated. And this pepsin helps in the protein digestion. And mucus protects the wall of the stomach, as the stomach is acidic in nature. And there is a sphincter which is present at the end of the stomach, which allows the movement of the food from stomach to small intestine. And this small intestine is very long, and it depends upon the type of the organism and their nutrition. If the organism is herbivores, the small intestine is very long because it has to digest cellulose. If the animal is carnivore, eating meat, then the small intestine is very short because meat can be easily digested. The small intestine contains two ducts, one from liver, the other from pancreas. They join together. So let us first discuss liver. So as the food which is present in the stomach is acidic in nature, when it passes through the small intestine, it has to become alkaline. So for that purpose, liver secretes bile juice. And this bile juice contains certain factors which helps in emulsification of fats. The fat which is present in the food is emulsified. What is emulsification? The larger fat molecules are converted into smaller fat globules, It's called emulsification. And the next one is pancreas. Pancreas contain pancreatic glands which produce pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice contains trypsin and lipase enzyme. Trypsin digests protein, lipase digests the emulsified fats. And the food starts moving from the small intestine. This small intestine is the last part of the digestion, where this contains intestinal glands which secrete intestinal juice. This intestinal juice contains the enzymes which can digest proteins, convert them into amino acids, carbohydrates which can convert them into glucose, fats which can be converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So these are all complex and now they become simple. So the complex food molecules are converted into simple food molecules, and finally they are absorbed in the small intestine. Small intestine contain numerous finger-like projections, and these are called villi. They are richly supplied with the blood and they help in increasing the surface area for absorption of the food. The food is absorbed through villi and it is supplied to all parts of the body. The next part is large intestine. The large intestine do not contain any glands, and the food which is absorbed and the waste which is left out contains a large amount of water. This water is reabsorbed and then the waste is thrown through the anus. The anus contains anal sphincter which allows the waste to move outside. So this is all about the digestive system of human being, that is alimentary canal, which starts from the mouth and ends to the anus. If you have any doubts regarding the nutrition, please comment in the comment box, and then if you like our video, please share it and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.